Hello, everyone. This is your host, AZ Hubbard, again with another story with, I don't know what's going on with the church. The church has totally gone wild. Okay, now this dude is a polygamous sect leader, gets 50 years in prison in a scheme to orchestrate S involving children. This is coming from Phoenix, Arizona. AP Press. Jock Billiard is the author of this article from the Associated Press. The polygamous religious leader who claimed more than 20 spiritual wives, including 10 underage girls, was sentenced to 50 years in prison on Monday for coercing girls as young as 9 years old to submit to criminal S acts with him and other adults, and for scheming to kidnap them from protective custody. Samuel Bateman, whose small group was an offshoot of the sect once led by Warren Jeffs, had pled guilty to years-long scheme to transport girls across state lines for his S crimes, and later to kidnap some of them from protective custody. Under the agreement, Bateman pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit transportation of a minor for S activity, which carries a sentence of 10 years in life to imprisonment, and one count of conspiracy to commit kidnapping, which is punishable by up to life imprisonment, and he was sentenced to 50 years on each count to be served concurrently. Good. The rest of the charges were dismissed as part of the agreement. Authorities says that Bateman, 48, tried to start an offshoot of the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints based in the neighboring communities in Colorado City, Arizona, and Hilldale, Utah. The fundamentalist group, also known as FLDS, split from mainstream Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints after Mormons officially abandoned polygamy in 1890. U.S. District Court Judge Susan Brokovich sentenced Bateman after hearing statements in court by three teenage girls about the trauma they still struggle to overcome. Although they gave their names in court, the Associated Press do not name victims of S crimes, and some appear to still be minors. You should have the opportunity to be free and never have the opportunity to be around young women, Brokovich told Bateman, noting that for a man of his age, the 50-year sentence was effectively a life sentence. You took them from their homes, from their families, and made them into S slaves, the judge said. You stripped them from their innocence and their childhood. The short competency hearing that was closed to the court, to the public, was held just before sentencing to discuss the doctor's assessments of Bateman mental health. The defense had argued that Bateman could have benefited from a maximum of 20 years of psychiatric treatment behind bars before being released. The girls told the court, sometimes addressing Bateman himself, how they grappled to develop relationships in high school, among other struggles, now living with foster families. They said they had received much support from trusted adults outside of their community. After the sentencing, the teens hugged and wept quietly. They were escorted out of the court by half a dozen men and women in jackets with the slogan, Bikers Against Child Abuse, a group dedicated to protecting children from what it calls dangerous people and situations. A woman who sat with the teens said no one in the group would have a comment. There was no one in the courtroom who appeared to be a supporter of Bateman. The alleged practice of the sect members sexually abusing girls whom they claim as spiritual wives has long plagued the FLDS. Jeffs was convicted of state charges in Texas in 2011 involving assaults of underage followers. Bateman was one of Jeff's trusted followers and declared himself, like Jeffs, to be a prophet of the FLDS. Jeffs denounced Bateman in a written revelation sent to his followers from prison and then tried to start his own group. In 2019 and 2020, insisting polygamy brings exaltation in heaven. Really? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this article, y'all. This is very disturbing. I'm tripping over words and stuff, but this right here is crazy. So he said it brings exaltation in heaven. Really? And that he was acting on the orders of the Heavenly Father. What Heavenly Father? What who is your father? It's surely not the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, the first and the last, and the most high God. No, 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 no. You have a different father, Heavenly Father. But anyway, let me continue this article. Bateman began taking female adults and children from their male followers and proclaiming them to be his quote unquote wives, the plea agreement said. While none of these marriages were legal or ceremonially recognized, Bateman acknowledged that each time he claimed another quote unquote wife, it marked the beginning of his illicit conduct with the woman or the girl. Federal agents said Bateman demanded that his followers confess publicly for any indiscretions, and he imposed punishments that range from public shaming to activity, including requiring that some male followers atone for their quote unquote sins by surrendering their own wives and daughters to him. Woo! You all need to get these cults people need to get out. This is crazy work here. Bateman traveled extensively between Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and Nebraska, and regularly coerced underage girls into his criminal activity. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Arizona said recording of some of his crimes was transmitted across state lines via electronic devices. Bateman was arrested in August of 2022 by state police as he drove through Flagstaff, Arizona, pulling a trailer. Someone had alerted authorities after spotting small fingers reaching through the slats of the door. Mm. Inside the trailer, which had no ventilation, they found a makeshift toilet, a sofa, camping chairs, and three girls, ages 11 to 14. Bateman posted bond but was soon arrested again, accused with obstructing justice in a federal investigation into whether children were being transported across state lines for his crimes. Authorities also took 9 children from Bateman's home in Colorado City into protective custody. 8 of the children later escaped from foster care in Arizona and were found hundreds of miles away in Washington state in a vehicle driven by one of the adult quote unquote wives. Bateman also admitted to his involvement in the kidnapping plot. Prosecutors noted that Bateman's plea agreement was contingent on all of his co-defendants also pleading guilty. It also called for restitution of as much as $1 million per victim and for all assets to be immediately forfeited. 7 of the Bateman adult quote unquote wives have been convicted of crimes related to coercing children into S activities or impeding investigation into Bateman. Some acknowledge they also coerce girls to become Bateman quote unquote spiritual wives. Witness Bateman having criminal S activities with girls, participating in illicit group S involving children, and joined in kidnapping them from foster care. Another woman is scheduled to be tried on January 14th on charges related to kidnapping. 2 Colorado City brothers also faced 10 years to life at their sentencing on December 16th and December 20th after being convicted in October of charges including interstate travel to persuade and coerce a child to engage in S activities. Authorities say one brought Bateman 2 Bentley automobiles, while the other bought him a Range Rover. In court records, lawyers for some Bateman wives painted a bleak picture of their client's religious upbringing. One said his client was raised in a religious cult that taught S activity with children was acceptable and that she was duped into marrying Bateman. Another said her client was given to Bateman to another man as if she were a piece of property, feeling she had no choice. This is very sad. This is very, very sad. All I got to say about this is people, these some of these churches and ministries are diabolical. Diabolical. And if you see, if you hear, if you suspect something, please, please speak up because these children are the innocent ones that are suffering from the hands of these sick people. The children. So again, I, encourage you to speak up, speak out, and thank you for joining Save News TV. I'm AZ Hubbard, your host. We will be bringing you these and other articles. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Oh, also remember that the videos are being released to subscribers who are members first. So you can join below, hit that membership tab. Not you hit subscribe too, but also the membership tab. So you can get the videos earlier than regular people on YouTube, and so you can stay abreast on what's going on. Also, following is the information regarding our social media. Please follow us and make sure you follow us on TikTok. I post up there daily. Save News One on TikTok. Um, Inspirational quotes every day, and except for the Sabbath, but every day I post inspirational quotes. So if you want to have something to be encouraged about, go over there on TikTok and make sure you follow us there. But also follow us on other social media platforms And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me into your homes. You all have a very blessed and prosperous day. Bye.
I'm writing lines to lift his name, no need for fame. My spirit fed, his word is spread, saves the aim. Pen to paper, truths I scribe, a soulful vibe. To glorify the Most High, let's amplify. I am spreading the faith I hold so dear. For every tear he's ever near. Choirs rise on Sunday morn, his love we adorn. Each melody a testimony, hearts reborn. In every